And we are back. Appreciate y'all for being here, man. The Cowboys get another one, man. Hey, yo, Bryan, I feel like you go into this season looking for losses, and look, man, we're not.
God.
I mean, look, man, we're not trying to encourage bad behavior or nothing like that, man. But boy, when I saw 70 and 73 go down, I said, man, that might be the last straw here. You know, Jerry Jones talked about it. He says, well, I treat Philadelphia and Houston like a rivalry game, and then we'll figure it out from there. We lost both of them, Bryan.
Yeah.
And on top of playing badly and all this kind of stuff. Bryan, I just wanted to ask you a question, man. I want everybody to ignore these advertisements from Nebraska Furniture Mart here. Bryan, I just got our old Tankathon website, Bryan Broaddus. I got my old Tankathon. Bryan, if you had to assume, I don't think the Cowboys are going to stay at 9. But what I want to ask you, Bryan, this is all philosophical here, technically. How many of these quarterbacks up here, how many teams up here are quarterback-needy teams? You know, you got Trevor Lawrence up there. You got the young guy and Will Levis there. Cleveland's tied into a fully guaranteed contract. The Giants have told you that they're actively sitting Daniel Jones. He's no longer a part of this. Vegas most likely. New England just drafted Drake May. Aaron Rodgers there, but they could probably use a young guy, but maybe they're trying to win right now. Carolina got Bryce Young. Iffy 50-50 there. Then you got your Cowboys, and after that is Saints and Bengals. Bryan, how many of these teams you think are quarterback needy that can bump a player down the board a little bit?
Tennessee at 2, Cleveland at 3, Giants at 4, Vegas at 5, Jets at 7.
All those teams are quarterback needy.
All those, yeah. And I think with Joe Douglas getting fired today at the Jets, I think that you're going to see a new general manager there completely clean house. I really don't believe Aaron Rodgers is no longer going to be with the New York Jets. Yeah. I just don't believe that. Yeah. But everyone now, Jacksonville very well could have a new head coach and a new general manager there. Tennessee with a new head coach and a recently new general manager there. Cleveland, their situation, who really knows with that, all that. But, that seems like a team that very well could use a quarterback if they want to move along from Deshaun Watson.
Sure.
The Giants have told you right now that by what they've done with Daniel Jones, and they feel like they have an out. It's going to cost them a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if a new head coach gets the opportunity to go in there and draft they draft a quarterback. Vegas for sure. Vegas could have a damn new coach. Yeah. Especially with now Tom Brady part of the group there, the ownership group. That seems like to me that's a very quarterback needy team. New England, you mentioned, they'll ride with the guy they got, and then I just talked about the Jets. I will tell you something I think that's really interesting. I learned this last night on our post-game show. I didn't know how much Dallas potentially could move in this board. I didn't know how much they can move potentially going up in this board. Those teams all play each other.
They do.
They all play each other. Like, Tennessee and Jacksonville play each other. Yeah. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Mm-hmm. Cowboys, Giants, Cowboys, Carolina. You look at some of the other teams there. I mean, there's teams, there's like divisional games going on there right now.
Sure.
So a lot of those, I didn't think that Dallas could really move because I was thinking these teams are bad. These teams are bad. They're going to keep losing. But a very astute listener of our shows said, no, Broaddus, go look at the schedules. These teams all play each other up there. New York plays the New England plays the Jets. They've got games left. So that to me, that was very encouraging.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think, is Dallas going to be stuck? Is Dallas going to be stuck there? So you're looking at the schedule right there, right?
So Jacksonville has Houston, Tennessee, Jets, Vegas, and Tennessee again. So yeah, something's definitely going to happen with these guys here. Tennessee, of course, they got Jacksonville. They're probably going to lose a couple of these. The Colts are there. That's a toss up. Jacksonville twice. Man, Brian, you're on to something, man. I think.
Well, I was kind of thinking that like these teams are so bad they're going to keep losing.
Yeah.
And again, the astute gentleman, I wish I remember his name. He said, "No, wait, Brian, go look at the schedules.
Sure.
These teams ahead of Dallas all play each other.
Yeah.
And you got a couple of games in there too that you're dealing with the Giants and you're dealing with Carolina.
Sure.
So your positioning could be, man, this sounds terrible to be talking about how to be in position for this. But, Dallas right now doesn't look like a football team that can win a game.
Sure.
It just doesn't. I'm sorry, folks. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news. Yeah, you're getting some guys back, but you're going to lose some guys this week likely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to get any better. Commanders already put them as a 10.5 point favorite in this game.
Yep.
Jeez. I mean, come on. So, they're a better football team than you right now. They really are. And so, like I say, the schedules, if you go through, these teams are going to start picking each other off. And, if Dallas kind of can, Dallas, I'm not saying they're going to tank games. I'm just believe that Dallas can naturally play games and lose them by 5 points, or they can lose them by 25 points.
Sure.
That's how the Cowboys are playing right now. So, I think it kind of bodes well for you if you're trying to get up maybe in the top 5 of this draft, if the way things are looking right now.
I think it's important because we're not in the quarterback market, and what we really want is for like some dudes to like fall down. We really like Travis Hunter and all these guys, Ted McMahon. We want these guys to fall down to us. So just in case the Cowboys don't end up 1, 2, or 3, they'll fall down a little bit because quarterbacks kind of go early.
Okay, let me throw something out at you right now. Since you asked me a question, I'll ask you a question.
Please.
And by the way, I want to say real quick, thanks to the guys that came up and like during the Cowboys post-game show and we're coming, hey man, listen to you and Voch all the time. Thank you, what you do. A lot of people, like, it was funny, like, 3, 4 guys walked up and said, love the work you and Voch do. Keep it up, keep going. You guys are doing a great job. And I said, thank you. So if you're listening, if you're one of those guys that came up to me at the post-game show down in the Miller Lite Club, thank you very much for listening. We do appreciate you. All right, Voch Lombardi, let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Would you consider a quarterback in the top 5 if you traded Micah Parsons?
I don't think in good conscience I can, because I think you have a quarterback you can win with. So if I got a quarterback I can win with and I've traded Parsons, I still got the Cowboys pick, and then I got another first-round pick.
That's the angle I'm going at right now.
I'm trying to load up on help. To load up on help. The Cowboys, the Cowboys have been looking shaky drafting later in the rounds or whatever. But, man, you got an opportunity to draft up there, and then we don't know what this team that just traded for Micah Parsons is going to do. But if anything, it can give you more ammo to move up or anything like that. Man, Brian, I'm trying to walk away with as many dudes as I could possibly get. If I could walk away with a wide receiver and a one tech I really, really like, I think that's big help for you. That's cutting half your issues down, Brian.
Right. What if you are you looking, man, this is going to be tough. The tackles that I've seen so far.
Offense.
Yeah, the offensive tackles that I've seen so far in the draft. And let me get my list out of guys that I've seen. Because I've seen the Texas tackle.
Me too.
And I've seen the LSU tackle.
Okay.
I don't know if I would take either one of those guys in the top 5.
No, sir.
Okay. If that's the case, maybe I think they're first-round players. Don't get me wrong. I actually think Jones, the Texas tackle, is a guard, me personally.
Okay.
Kind of feel like he would probably be a better guard.
Kelvin Banks? Kelvin Banks?
Banks,
Gotcha.
If that's the case, does that eliminate – does taking a tackle –
Yes.
in the top of the draft, I mean, if you trade back, I personally, I don't have Will Campbell myself in the top 5.
No.
I just don't. I think they're better players there.
Sure.
Do you have any of these defensive tackles over? Would you put any of these defensive tackles that you've seen? Would you put Mason Graham over a tackle?
Yes, sir.
Would you put Derek Harmon over a defensive tackle? Derek Harmon might be a second round guy.
I'll
tell you what, this Talik Williams, did you seen him?
I'm watching him next, but I haven't seen him.
Okay.
But
he's a good player.
As far as Harmon goes, I'm taking Kelvin Banks, the tackle from Texas, over the.
So you have Banks over Campbell is what you've got.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like Banks is a top 5 player?
No. So, Brian, this is great, right? I'm on the internet arguing with people, right? And they say,
right.
"Oh, the Cowboys could use any position." And without faces, that is true. But once you start putting faces like to names to like whatever, then you start cutting names out. I can't in good conscience right now take safety or a left tackle. I got 6 names, Brian. I'll run them down for you.
All right. Let me write these down if I could, just so I remember them.
I got 6 names for you that as a Cowboy analyst, I'm looking for these guys. Let me know when you're ready. And if it ain't one of these guys, I'm feeling hurt. Travis Hunter.
All right.
Wide receiver, cornerback from Colorado.
Good job of mentioning the name. Good job.
Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver. Arizona.
Yeah.
Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Yep.
Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State.
Yep.
Luther Burden, wide receiver, Missouri. If it's not one of those 6, Brian, I'm gonna feel away, and I would like to trade back.
Interesting.
No offensive line for me, and I'm offensive line guy, but I would be hurt. Oh, pardon me. Add one more. Carter.
I was wondering where you had Carter.
Abdul Carter. He's like my 4th guy. He's 4th in that list somewhere. So those are my 7 guys, Brian. I can't take offensive line over any of those guys unless I'm trading back.
And we're starting to learn. I mean, we've seen just so far. I know I've done 20 players. I've studied 20 players.
Yep.
2 of them offensive tackles. It ain't like so far like the group that we've seen.
It ain't like last year.
Ain't like last year. And man, you need some help.
You do.
You need some help. And now here's my thought. Would you think I'm gonna have to see, like I say, I'm interested to see what happens with Banks where they really play him.
Sure.
I'm interested.
I don't think he's a guard though. I don't think Banks or Campbell are guards. I think they're both tackles.
Okay. That's going to be I agree with you on Campbell, the LSU tackle. Sure. I agree with that.
Sure.
Banks, I'd be interested. I have him in my tackle group right now. I would be really interested to what my gang of 7 has him as.
Yeah.
I'd be interested around the league. What are you grading? And I need to ask that question. And when we get Jim Nagy on or Dane Brugler, one of those guys, I think Dane Brugler has him as a guard.
Sure.
But I'd be interested to see where Jim Nagy would play him. But I need to learn from Gang of 7 because to me, I'm thinking about that 5th pick. If it's potentially the 5th pick, is being an offensive or defensive lineman. But in good conscience, I can't take an offensive lineman right now.
Oh, I can only.
Could you take Banks there? Okay, this would be for me.
Sure.
Could you take Banks there? Where would you play Banks? Would you play him at right tackle?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
It depends on Banks, right? That's
what I'm saying.
If Banks can play left tackle, I'll put Guyton there right. See, Brian, let me just say this too. I'm not.
I was thinking about playing Banks. I was thinking about playing if you drafted Banks and you put him in Zach Martin's spot, and you moved Guyton to right tackle, and then you figured out something at left.
This is my thing, Brian. I don't think Guyton is one of those guys that gets better just because he moved to right tackle.
I don't think so either.
I think he's bad over there too.
The fact that he didn't play poorly in the game last night. The one time that was. But man, we've seen these offensive linemen play good for 60 plays, and the 61st play, then it's a sack, fumble, and then chaos.
Sure. Also, too, Brian, I think Terrence Steele is getting the tougher assignments. Honestly, just me looking at it like that. So Guyton is playing well, but Guyton's not getting the blunt force of what they got on the other side, though.
Yeah.
But I don't feel great drafting offensive line. If anything, Brian, I would just pray to the football guys that with that high second round pick, drafting at like 38 or something like that, I can find an offensive lineman there. And when I say offensive lineman, I'm saying guard, center, and tackle. I'm looking for somebody right there. But what makes this difficult, and that's kind of the game that you play, Brian, when you drafting in the 20s, you got versatility there. You got options in the 20s. You ain't got options at 5. If you at 5, you just got to take the best dude that's there.
I totally agree with you.
You'd be a fool. You'd be a fool to pass on Abdul Carter for Kelvin Banks. You'd be a fool to pass on Genty or Burden or McMillan. So you have to take the best guy that's there, bro. You just can't window dress top of the board. You can't do it.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like, though, this is so wild because when I was naming the guy, when you started, I was writing down my list when you were talking of these guys, and I was writing them down. Why do I have 3 wide receivers in the top 5?
Because they're the best. They're the best. Burden can play. McMillan can play. Hunter can play. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I went Hunter, Carter, Genty, McMillan, Burden is what I went. And Campbell would be my number 6.
You got Campbell over Graham?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Graham would help you a lot.
Sure would.
So you took Graham at 3 is what you did.
Graham 3, 4, 5. He's one of my top 7 guys for sure.
Yeah.
He's
Graham is the defensive tackle from Michigan, folks, if you're following along.
Defensive tackle from Michigan, Mason Graham. I truly think Graham is one of the premier blue chip, clearly first round grade players in this class. I can't even say for sure about these offensive linemen or these tackles so far. I can't even say
I put Campbell above him just because. But if you were to do my list, you'd have Banks, but you're not putting Banks over because you got Graham at 3.
Correct. I'm not putting Banks over Graham. No.
Okay.
I think Graham is fantastic, and I don't think he's like a Jalen. Well, I don't think he's like a Jalen Carter, Quinnen Williams type guy. But if it's anything that's like right after that, I think he's a dude that can be great for you. Just like I look at Aiden Hutchinson, right? You don't look at Aiden Hutchinson as like a Von Miller, Marcus Ware type guy, but Aiden Hutchinson can still be the best defensive end in football. I think Mason Graham can be one of the best defensive tackles. I think he'd be one of the best defensive tackles in football. I just don't think he's like Quinnen Williams and nothing like that. But he could be top 5. But I think the Cowboys been missing that. That damn speech Will McClay gave about Mozzie.
Yeah.
He should give that about Mason Graham.
He was 3 years early on that, wasn't he?
We will have it's a rare opportunity that we get to draft one of these guys to help your D lineman for a long time. He should have said that about Mason Graham and not Mozzie Brown, bro.
Argue for me, and maybe you just did. Maybe I need to listen better. Argue why you would take Graham over Carter from Penn State.
I don't think I would.
Okay.
I don't think I would.
I was making sure.
I think my favorite player, Brian, and I know you don't like floor and ceiling, right?
Right.
But my favorite type of player, Brian, is when they good right now.
Yeah.
And they can grow and give me some more.
Yeah.
I think that's the key here. I look at Travis Hunter like that.
Yeah.
I look at Carter like that. And I look at Burden like that. I think those are guys that are really good right now that can give me more later. To you and Woolchuck's point, Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan, I think he is kind of closer to what he is. He can grow, but he's closer to what he is. Abdul Carter has no idea how to play defensive end.
I agree. Yeah, Abdul Carter, edge Penn State.
He's just athlete, ass whoop, and genetics. And then you can teach him how to use his hands, right? I can't say that about some of the guys that we've drafted already. You know, Guyton or Mozzie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Carter helps you day one. In your pass rush package, you calling Lawrence and Nealon off the field, and you letting Carter, Parsons, and Overshown go out there and chase people around, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah, I agree.
Day one.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I don't have him officially ranked yet, but Carter's super high for me. Carter's up there with Hunter and Genty and McMillan in them.
I agree. I agree on that. The one, like I say, to me, man, I like what you did with Burden. I like him. I really, really do like him a lot.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, he don't really know how to play receiver just yet. They just give him the ball and he just give you 30 extra yards from when you gave it to him. He's a great player. I think this is a fantastic year to be at the top of the draft, Bryan Broaddus.
I do too. And that's why, like I said, the thing that's going to happen to me, I think that you're closer to being accurate to what they might do.
Sure.
Man, folks, seriously, don't look at Graham and think of all the Michigan misses.
Oh.
Don't do that. Different scheme, different player. You know, if he was playing at Alabama or Georgia or LSU or Ole Miss, one of these places, we'd be jumping up and down. And we're jumping up and down for him right now.
Yeah. Me thinking of Graham, I don't think Taco and Mozzie. I think Aiden Hutchinson and Rashawn Gary. I think about those Michigan guys.
Yeah.
I
agree.
So this is the one time where we just can't be lazy with the analysis. That dude's special, and he may be in your range because whoever goes in front of you, just as much as we love Travis Hunter and Carter, they may be gone. Brian, somebody take in front. So we have to get comfortable with the idea that we could take the one tech.
What's the ceiling for Hunter, and where you would think he would go,
draft wise?
Yeah, number.
I don't think he gets in, man. So let's say I'll give him +2 quarterback teams. That makes sense. So if 3 quarterbacks go, he's either going there or right after that. If 2 quarterbacks go, he's going 3 or 4. So I'm giving him +2 quarterback teams.
I think you're on to something there.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, and I do you think anybody would have McMillan over him because of the uncertainty of him playing corner or playing wide receiver?
This is what's about to be funny, Brian. Teams suck at drafting. Teams are not good at this. So what may happen? This is why I said +2. What may happen is some team is gonna go, well, we don't look at Travis Hunter as a corner.
Right.
We only look at him as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So Travis Hunter, the wide receiver versus McMillan, they may pick McMillan over him.
Yeah, because of how he physically looks. Yeah.
Physically. Or it may come down to, damn, we already got a move around guy.
Right.
I need a true X receiver.
Right.
I value McMillan to be more of a true X receiver over Travis Hunter right now. And we only look at Travis Hunter as a receiver. I think that's false because I see him as a damn good corner as well and as a damn good receiver as well. I look at him like that. But some team up there that may not be good at this, they may only look at him as a wide receiver and they may say that McMillan is better. I can understand how somebody can look at McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona, and think he's better than Travis Hunter as a wide receiver.
I kind of look at this right now, Voch, of all the names that we've had here, that if Dallas is at 5, they're going to get a guy that we like.
We like Brian. As long as they don't, pray for us, Brian.
That they don't get cute, and
as long as they don't take the corner from Michigan,
Yeah.
As long as they don't take the safety.
That's Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan.
Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan.
Yep.
Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia.
Right.
And as long as they don't take one of these offensive linemen, you can't miss. We'll be happy.
Yeah.
We'll be happy.
I agree.
Man, Brian, I wasn't trying to do all that with you today, man.
I wouldn't either, but the thing about it is, like I say, I'm interested to see where, and this is my project to figure out with my gang of 7.
Yeah.
Where are people playing Hunter? And is Kelvin Banks,
sure,
tackle Texas, most people looking at him as a guard?
Yeah.
And seeing how that's going to go. That's my project. What'd you think of that tape? Did you get a chance to watch any of that? The Cowboy tape?
Hey, man, don't be transitioning like this your show, man. What's going on, man? What you doing, dog? Don't be transitioning. But yeah, Brian, I got
We're back.
Yes, sir. I got a chance to look at the tape, man. And Brian, I tell you what, man, I don't want to be this guy because we just talked about drafting and all this kind of stuff. I think I don't think the Texans played well altogether.
I don't think they did either.
I think
they've kind of Rico Collins is a good player for them.
Yeah.
Their quarterback tried to throw you the ball a couple of times.
Many times, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Texans defense played well, but me and you talked about that. We already anticipated that. I think your offensive line got beat up. I think your right tackle got beat up by one of the better edges in the game. You said Guyton played well. I agree. At one point, we had a full-blown JV offensive line out there, Bryan Broaddus. Boy, it was awesome. Riches.
Told Wolchuk it looked like a preseason game.
Yeah,
throwing the ball to span forward, and
I was encouraged to see the tight end step up a little bit, and Ferguson went down or whatnot. Man, I saw number 31 out there, and I was like, who the hell is that? And
Butler.
Yeah, Butler went out. The Kemon was in the game. Well, he was active this week, and I think Houston gave you many opportunities to win the game, and the game was actually close. We were doing a post-game show over there, DLLS. We were over there watching the game, Brian, and it was 17-10 for a long time. And Houston really didn't get out there on you until like later in the game, but we just ran out of horses. And like like we've been saying all year, the defense can start. Our defense, Cowboys defense, can start off playing okay, but they're not good enough to overcome Cowboys offense.
Yeah. I think that's understand the 4th and 2 call.
Maybe I'm being hindsight guy and just say take the points. Maybe I'm being hindsight guy saying take the points, but maybe if you Mike McCarthy and you just shooting the dice one time, you just saying, look, if we gonna beat these dudes, we got to go beat them. And we in the red zone, we don't do that all the time. We never. What is this red zone that you speak of? I don't want Cooper Rush throwing the ball 50 times, and Mike McCarthy said that, of course. But when Cooper Rush is in the game, they get to stack the box because they know you're not going to throw the football like that. So Cooper Rush can make some throws for you. But I guess looking back on it, I can't hate it because I get what he's talking about. He wants to go and win the game, and he wants to be confident in his offense or whatever. But you never know how the game plays out. Like maybe Houston plays different because you close the gap 3 points. So maybe I would have taken the points. Maybe.
See, the thing about it is I understand why he could also look at it as I don't know if I'm going to get down here again.
Sure.
He's thinking my offense is really not that great. And, I'm having to throw the ball with Cooper Rush. I can't run the ball. And listen, let me talk about run game stuff after I talk about this 2-point play. I understand why he did. I hate the play call.
Yeah. I
hate sprint right option to Jerry Rice with Joe Montana back in the day was a great play.
Sure.
Right now, I think it just, if you don't get the ball out quick enough, it was 3-on-2 out there. Houston had it covered. You try and go back inside on the play, and, get the ball to Mingo, even if he catches it for the touchdown, Luke Schoonmaker you're going to get a penalty for holding. They're going to call a penalty for holding, and they're going to back it up, and you're probably going to kick the field goal at that point, and you probably get you made it a 1-score game. I don't like the sprint right option call. The ball has to be out quick. And like I said, Houston had 3 defenders covering 2. There's really no chance over there. No chance. You're asking Cooper Rush to throw the ball on the move. I just, there's a lot of things not to like about that play.
Yeah.
And I understand why he went for it, but it just did not like the play call at all. I thought that was asking a little too much of him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My observation about Cowboy running game. Mike McCarthy and the staff are asking guys to do things they're not capable of doing. First play of the game, if you watch the first running play that they hand the ball to Rico Dowdle, if your folks right now listen, I think you could probably pull that one up for me, Voch. Watch poor CeeDee Lamb make a business decision about blocking this linebacker. Watch the who decided on the offensive staff to take our best weapon with a bad back that he's been dealing with and go dig out a linebacker, Henry Tuatoa, Tuatoa, who said, this is part of our game plan today. Let's take our receiver and go dig a guy out. You're asking Lamb, Tolbert, Brooks to be point of attack blockers. This offense consistently does not block everybody it's supposed to block. There's no way to run the ball. They got hit on a safety blitz that was a tackle for loss, a great call by the Texans. Great call. But you are asking guys that they're not capable. Yeah. That is not CeeDee Lamb's game to go in. Hines Ward, sure. Back in the day, sure. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Take this Jonathan Mingo.
Mingo had a really good block on the edge, dude, one time.
Couple of them. Yeah, couple of them. That big son of a gun was getting after it. Okay. Sure. You want to take him in there? He's trying to make this team and do what he's supposed to do. Sure. He'll go in there and dig a linebacker out, but you're taking your best offensive weapon who's been banged up and you're asking him to go lead block.
Yeah.
And, if he got the block, it's a big game. It's a big game. The play is well blocked. That one block they needed and they couldn't get it, but that happens way too much.
Sure.
And I wonder if Mike McCarthy is like calling plays and he says, damn, that was a negative play. It's a gain of nothing, gain of 1, can't go back to it. Yeah. You don't go back to it because you don't want to get your damn wide receiver killed because he ain't going to run in there and make the play.
But you know what, though, Brian? Prior preparation prevents poor performance, sir.
You know sure.
So when we're drawing this up, nobody – all right, so CD, you're going to come over here and crack this guy. Nobody –
It's not even a crack. It's not a crack, Voch. It's go dig a guy out.
I'm looking for it now, but my situation not loading up. I'm going to come over here and see if I can find it.
It's one of the early – God, I wish I could pull it up on my stuff. I need to get my – we'll get this stuff hooked up one day where – be able to pull this stuff. But yeah, it was one of the first running play they had. Yeah. They asked CeeDee Lamb. I mean, it's the first offensive snap of the game that they try and run the ball inside, and I think they get 2 yards on it. And if you watch the sideline copy, you will see CeeDee Lamb make a business decision on this thing. And I mean that as a negative thing for CeeDee Lamb. But he's probably thinking, I've got a whole football game to play today.
Yeah.
And you want me to go dig that linebacker out of there? Football's a tough game, but could somebody else have done that? Could somebody else been motion set, go dig that guy out?
Let me see. Yeah.
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 Yeah, go back.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
can you hit it from the end zone there for me a little bit?
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch this.
That's nowhere near.
Yeah. See what are you asking here? What are you really asking here?
Even at this leverage, Bryan Broaddus?
Yeah.
Even at this, CD's not gonna do anything to this guy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You wonder. Oh no. Not today. Not today. We're not doing this today.
Yeah.
Who drew this up and said, "Oh, this is a damn good idea." I mean, the play. I mean, it play actually looks like it has a little bit of a chance. If like I say, they get the double team, they get a couple of double teams across the board, and now here comes the trap block, which is they kind of whiff on that.
Yeah.
But look where the cut's going to be. If they get that block, all of a sudden maybe he cuts behind that block.
Yeah, there's a lot of room.
That's a guy that's not. I don't. You know what? I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I don't know who on the offensive staff thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't know. And this happens a lot.
Yeah.
It happens a lot because they in the Cowboy scheme of run blocking, we're going to put our best wide receiver in there and block. Yeah. You saw exactly what you got.
Sure.
And it happens and you wonder why. Well, Rico's got carries and it's only for 2.3 yards. That's watch how many times that there needs to be a block and they just don't block the guy. Yeah. That they hope that they hope that maybe the guy misses or something like that.
It just seems like this offense isn't well thought through. Like there was this stat and Brian is stat analytic guy now. What was that stat about Turpin? That's the fastest play since for like 2-3 years or something like that, miles per hour or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we just like, man, first of all, why can't we get Turpin to do this more in general? But even in the game, why don't we go back to Turpin in this game after we just?
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. That's a novel idea. They catch Houston in a cover 2 that's going to rotate to a single high look. It was a great play call for that. So Houston is going to try and take over. They're going to take the right safety and they're going to drive the right safety down to try and take away the crossers. And then what happens is that they get Kalen Bullock, the safety turned, the one safety on the left hash turned into the free safety, the single high safety.
Yeah.
So what happens is they actually fit the ball in the window between what they're getting with their down safety and then Bullock playing as the high guy. Beautiful play. Well blocked. Great pass. Why does that guy only get 2 other targets then in the game? Why? And nothing against Span Ford.
Sure.
Nothing against Luke Schoonmaker. Combine the number of targets they got and tell me, why doesn't a guy who just made a 64-yard run, I don't know, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. I think they had 12 targets between the both of them.
Yeah. Why? Why does and that people say, wow, that's only the second slant that Turpin's ever run. I get it. He's short and he's not a very good contested catcher.
Yep.
But what he can do is he can run away from people. Mm-hmm. There was times when Cooper Rush got sacked. What did we see last week against the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts right before the half? Pressure from Overshown. What does he do to Overshown? He protects the ball, he ducks his shoulder, and Overshown goes right by him. Cooper Rush, he gets sacked. Bad body position, bad footwork, doesn't pull through, not able to climb the pocket. You got Turpin open in the deep outside, like it runs a deep out. Nobody around him. But Cooper Rush can't avoid the pressure or the sack.
Yeah.
Where last week, and it's maybe it's unfair. I'm sitting there. I know quarterbacks we've watched. How many times do they do that drill where they protect the ball, dip their shoulder, and then move forward? They're like to make the guy miss. You can't let that guy bring you down with one hand.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a guy open on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Now, I'll tell you another thing. I've said it on a couple platforms. This might be really irresponsible of me saying this.
It's all right.
The interception that Cooper Rush threw, after he threw the interception, Jake Ferguson didn't play another down. Jake Ferguson ran a route, like a flat bench route, that drew his man, went right into CeeDee Lamb, which caused the play not to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
He did a flat route, and I question was at that point, was Ferguson
compromised?
Was he compromised? Did he run a route? Did he think he heard something and run a route? And it hit by him running the route. And I'm trying not to be irresponsible. I'm just trying to be. It looked like to me his route carried his man into CeeDee Lamb, which caused CeeDee Lamb the collision. They could have called illegal contact. They didn't, but it ended up being an interception to Stingley.
Yeah.
But to me, there's a route. You look at the route, the combination of it. It was slant. He runs an out, a slant, and you had Tolbert running a shallow cross. We didn't see more Ferguson after that play, after the interception. And if you look at the film on the sidelines, Lunda Wells is talking to Ferguson he's like explaining, like maybe like, what did you hear? What was the huddle call? What did you? I wonder if at that point a compromised Ferguson took his man into a route that might have caused an interception. Could be wrong about that. I don't want to. I mean, I'm not trying to, but it just seemed it seemed funny that the route combinations that they had didn't seem like, and unless they got a coverage that they didn't think they were going to get.
Sure.
But Ferguson didn't play the remainder of the game after that interception. So
did he show up on the practice reports or anything like that?
He's not playing this weekend. Mike McCarthy said it would be there's no possibility of him playing this week. So he's out. He's already out. I just wonder.
Maybe
I just wonder.
Maybe.
I'm not trying to be stirred up guy and be all that. I'm just saying that maybe the guy, and Ferguson's one of the toughest men alive, and maybe he was a little compromised running that route, and it kind of maybe heard something, got confused, but from that point on, he didn't play another snap. Just wondering. But they had some opportunities in this game.
Sure.
And, Cooper Rush throwing the ball 50-something times, you're probably not going to win. Probably not going to win with him throwing the ball 50 times. Not in this football game.
Man, Brian, the Cowboys sure got a lot of games coming up in the next 10 or 11 days, man.
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of bodies. They have some bodies coming back. We'll see what happens with Cooks.
Yeah.
Coming back.
I forgot about Cooks.
Yeah, we'll see hopefully some others that get back in the mix. I don't think you're going to see Bland. That one right there is kind of that one. They just can't. It doesn't appear that they're able to get the soreness out of his foot.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Maybe it's a long-term thing. Maybe more rest needed. But they need some help. I mean, McQuamu McQuamu did a really nice job on the interception that Hooker got. Mm-hmm. He made Stroud have to throw the ball over the top of him to get the ball. It was a bad pass anyway. I mean, great job of Hooker being in the right place at the right time.
Sure. But
Izzy made him throw him over the top. So, good for him on that. But Butler could add interception. We talk about if you kick the field goal to make it a one-score game, the Texans come back on offense and they throw a pass on 3rd and 1, which was surprising. And that ball goes to the outside, and Butler, I mean, Dell's got him beat and it's such a bad pass that if that was, say, Bland, that thing's coming back as a pick six, probably. Probably going to come back as a pick six. So you got a lot of guys playing that probably, they're playing 30, 40 snaps that probably need to be playing 12 snaps. That's what you're dealing with right now.
Bryan Broaddus, we'll see about it, man. We'll be here reporting begrudgingly. We're talking about the whole thing, man. We'll have our little fun, talk about draft and all that, but we will definitely keep y'all tuned in on everything that's happening with your Dallas Cowboys. All right, we'll see what's happening. Bryan Broaddus, this show went by fast, man. The show flew by, but that's what happens.
Yeah, see, you start talking about the draft, and I'm sure everybody out there was losing their damn mind about it. But
Brian, two people dislike when we talk about 2.5.
I'm just kidding, man. I love everybody out there. I thank you for watching our shows. Really, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Boy, Brian was one character dropped 9 comments down there, boy. He kept talking to himself. I'm like, hey man, it's Tuesday, bro. What are you doing?
I saw you jump in there on one of the comments, like you're trying to tell the guy, man, we talk about the other team. We'll talk about the Commanders' offense tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Wednesday. God, it's already Wednesday. It's already Wednesday.
We're gonna talk about we're gonna try to be enthusiastic about breaking down these games, but we're gonna sneak some fun conversation in there. But hey, we try to please everyone. We are
the one-shop stop, right?
We are gonna make an attempt. All right. We're gonna go watch the rest of this Mavericks game. I love y'all too.
What's the score, by the way? I need the Mavs score.
I cut it off because if it's on, everything
interfering.
Everything gets a little funny, so I just cut it all off. But the Mavericks was.
How about getting a real studio over there, bro? You ever thought about working in a real studio?
Wait on you. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all.
Hey, getting really close, man. Getting really close.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time. Y'all follow me at VOCHLOMBARDI. Brian, do you know
all the mad comments over there?
Follow him.
All the mad comments. Everybody's mad. Over there.
BRYN
Happy
Broaddus.
comments over here. Yeah, there we go.
Do you know what right brick on my brick means?
No, you don't do this. What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's just
right brick on my what?
Right, like writing, like.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
Right brick, like I'm writing the word brick.
Right.
On my brick.
I'm writing my word brick on my brick. What does that mean?
Right brick on my brick. It's a way of in a very flashy manner, you're broadcasting that the price of your product is gonna increase in value.
Oh,
because you have the best product in the streets, right? So it's sort of like Blue Magic or whatever, right? If you ever seen Denzel's American Gangster and all that, Frank Lucas. So I'm so flashy with mine. I'm gonna have fashion designer Virgil write brick on my brick. And I'm going to proceed to hit the streets and let everybody know that my product is increasing with value every day that we go by.
I like that.
That's exactly how I feel about these damn draft picks, Bryan Broaddus. So all we got to do is just keep getting through it and keep eyes on Tankathon, and the streets will be served in no time. All right? Y'all be sure to tap in with us tomorrow, man. We love y'all to pieces. Y'all hold down the door, squads and peace. Till next time. Crown.